I've combined two pieces of gear into one for my streaming and content creation, and honestly, my setup has never been cleaner. Hey, what's up? I'm Josh, and welcome to Techno Josh, where I break down creator gear, give you live streaming tips, tutorials. Basically, it helps you make better content than I am diving into it. And over the past several months, I've been going through a lot of different gear, different microphones, stream decks, and accessories that I wasn't really using to begin with. And I was suffering from what you might call GAS, that is gear acquisition syndrome. Basically, hold on to old gear for just in case situations instead of selling it when I had no more use for it. So after downsizing a bit, I have less clutter on my desk, and I finally just have one stream deck on my desk, which has never happened. And I was able to combine two of my old devices into one, and that's what I want to show you in this video. So let's get to the tech. At Elgato's Wave Mk2 event that took place a few months ago, they announced a whole bunch of new products. One of those products being the XLR Dock Mk2. This comes packed with some great features and one significant change. As with the original XLR dock, the Mk2 is also made for the Stream Deck Plus. And much like its predecessor, the dock is essentially the Wave XLR without the dial or the capacitive mute button. However, the Mk2 changes things in a few key ways. So let's go ahead and unbox it and look what we got inside. Okay, so the packaging is very similar to the XLR Dock Mk1, and looks like we have the instructions. And what do we do with this? That's right, we throw it away. And let's see, that is the dock. And do I have anything else in here? Does not look like it. So again, the box is the dock itself. So I'll go ahead and unwrap it. And looks like this connects via USB-C. We have our inputs on the back. So we have our XLR input, we have our headphone jack, and we have our USB-C connection on the back as well. So in order to get this to connect to our Stream Deck Plus, you're going to need just one tool really, and that's just a small Phillips head screwdriver. And when you're undoing the base from the Stream Deck Plus, just be sure to be very careful that you do not lose the screws, because there are no replacement screws in the box that the dock comes in. Alright, so put the base to the side as well as the screws. Bring back out the XLR dock, and you'll just find out with the USB-C port in the back, you should hear an audible click, and that lets you know that it is firmly in place. And then you'll put the screws back in that were holding the base that was on there, and these screws will fit into the dock base. Okay, now that that's connected, let's go ahead and plug in our connections. So plug in our XLR cable, plug in our USB-C cable to our computer, and lastly we will go ahead and plug in our headphones. Alright, so with everything plugged in, let's go ahead and open up WaveLink. You will need to be running WaveLink 3.0 in order to use the dock and the new features. If you don't already have WaveLink installed, I'll leave a link down in the description to download it. With the WaveLink open, we're going to set up the XLR dock. I have set it up over here previously, but we're going to go to Settings, and we're going to click on Start Setup Tour. If you are configuring a Wave device, whether it be the Wave XLR, the Wave 3, or what have you, it lists right here. So that is our XLR Dock Mk2. We're going to go ahead and click on Get Started, and it's going to show us the microphone input, the headphone output, allows us to adjust that level, and it's going to give us a recommendation on microphone placement between our mouth and the microphone. And this brings us to the first new feature for all Wave Mk2 devices, and that is the Auto Gain Wizard. So instead of you having to figure out where the input needs to be for your voice to make sure you're loud enough, the Auto Gain Wizard basically takes all the guesswork out of it for you, and it just takes a few seconds. I'm speaking at a normal volume to test the gain, making sure everything sounds clear, balanced, and consistent, with my voice neither too loud nor too quiet and easy to listen to. Alright, so it looks like my ideal input for decibels for the gain is 52 decibels. Sounds about right. And this brings us to our monitoring, what we hear through our headphones. We could slide this all the way to the right and just hear our voice, slide to the middle, hear a mix between our PC and our voice, or slide all the way to the left and just hear what's coming from our computer. Now, this other new feature is direct monitoring. This goes in line with the biggest new feature that we'll go through here in just a few moments. Lastly, this shows that you can control your Wave device through your Stream Deck. All right, so all that is set up. Now onto the main feature of the XLR Dock Mk2, as with all the new Wave products that came out from Elgato this year, and that is digital signal processing, or DSP for you acronym lovers. For the first time ever, Elgato has released devices that have onboard audio processing instead of offloading processing onto your computer, which introduces delay and more uses on your CPU. So let's look at the onboard processing options known as WaveFX. And speaking of effects, I have all my software effects over here. So my denoiser, noise gate, compressor, EQ, all that fun stuff. And then here are our hardware effects. So what I'm going to do is turn off all of my software effects, except for the limiter and the denoiser. And I'm going to show you all of the new hardware effects and kind of what they all do. Some are pretty self-explanatory. So first we have our low cut filter. I've always debated on having this on or off. I don't particularly have a low voice, so this wouldn't do any good to me, but it says that it reduces rumbles, typing, stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on, just type a little bit. Again, I don't really notice any type of difference when I have it on or when I have it off. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. And then we have an expander, and this is not to be confused with a noise gate. A noise gate is generally a set threshold where it will mute audio that doesn't meet that threshold. So whether it's negative 40 decibels, negative 30 decibels, whatever you have set it to. What an expander is going to do is it's going to take those sounds in the background, such as your fans on your computer, your AC hum, all those low frequencies, and it's going to quietly and gradually fade those out instead of hard cutting them off like a noise gate would do. So I'll turn on the expander. Usually I like to set the reduction gain and keep it at 0. And essentially we want everything that is kind of below this line, we want that to be quieted gradually. So that is at about negative 40 decibels. So that's the sweet spot. And for the settings in the advanced settings portion, I already have this set. So basic settings for this is ratio, keep it 1:1. Attack time, keep it around 9 to 10 milliseconds. And then the release time, 200 milliseconds. And one of the hardware effects I was not expecting was voice tune. And according to Elgato, this is something that adds analog style compression and gentle harmonic warmth. So this essentially makes the need for a compressor obsolete. So I'll go ahead and turn that on. And I'm just gonna tweak it right here. See if you hear any difference. I'm gonna bump that all the way up. I would not suggest bumping it all the way up to 100%, but this is just for demonstration purposes. If you are gonna use it, keep it around 50%, okay? And I'm gonna go to my equalizer, I'll go back to the compressor here in just a moment. And I already have this set as well. So again, you can adjust these for what you're looking for as far as your own equalization on your voice. But one thing you'll notice is there is not a presets option. So the presets you get from the Elgato Marketplace or presets that you set yourself. Essentially, this is just a kind of set it and leave it. And if you need to change it, well, it's just going to take you a little bit extra time than having a preset enabled. But perhaps this is something Elgato will add in a future update. All right, so we have our expander on, our voice tune, and our equalizer. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the voice tune and turn on the compressor. And once more, I already have this set up previously to where I like my levels to be. So you want this bar up here to be just above your natural speaking level. And again, this is going to bring the quiet sounds and lower the loud sounds, so that whatever level I'm speaking at, it's going to all balance out. And the advanced settings here, once again, a 1:1 ratio, a 2 millisecond attack time, and a 200 millisecond release. All right, so how does this all sound? Again, this is everything with the hardware effects, and this is with voice tune once more. And back to compressor. All right, what do we think? Does it sound better with hardware effects? Or does it sound better with the software effects? I'll let you be the judge on that. Personally, I've spent so much time on organizing and getting my software effects where they need to be. I'm more likely to use the software effects than I am the onboard hardware effects. However, what I like about the onboard effects is in the input and monitoring tab, you had direct monitoring, and this allows you to hear the onboard effects as they're being applied, so there's no delay. As you're speaking, you're hearing those onboard effects take place. Another thing is the VSTs, along with the onboard effects. The new Mk2 Wave devices have something called VST insert, and this inserts the VSTs into this onboard processing so that you can hear those being applied as well. Again, you'll need to turn off direct monitoring for that, because with VSTs, there is going to be a little bit of a delay, but not as much as with the former Elgato Wave devices. As always, if you found value in this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so that you are notified whenever I upload a new video. Until next time, stay creative, stay curious, and stay in the techno.